Okay, so first thing to do, we're gonna lock in Urgot, and this is personally the room page I use. I play more of a defensive style of Urgot. I generally try to avoid early trades, and other than level 1, level 1 is a huge spike for Urgot, where, not even a spike, just like a strong start, where you just press E, proc your shotguns, and they don't respect the amount of damage you deal. From there, you can either go with Shield Bash to get yourself some extra damage and shielding and resistance. Conditioning's decent. Second Wind I use against Teemo, Singed, Cass, anyone that does damage over time, Rumble. Those types of champions that really just like to poke you a lot. Bone Plating I personally am not the biggest fan of, as it is just, it's easy to pop, and they just, poke you with it and back off. So now I go is Taste of Blood with Ravenous Hunter. That's another standard that I usually go that when I feel confident in winning the lane. I will also go Cull when I'm confident in winning the lane. If I'm not, I will go Dorn's Blade and Dorn's Shield. Dorn's Blade I never go. I think that the on-hit healing from Cull is just better. That's my opinion. And as you can see, I still am going Conqueror. I'm going to be trying Press the Attack. A lot of people are saying it's good. I just am stuck in my ways. So I will have to take a look and see how I like it, because it could definitely be better. Especially seeing what it does, it gives you extra damage for those 6 seconds that it's procced. It'll make it easier to proc your ultimate. So I can see why it would be good. I just don't necessarily try it yet. So some of Urgot's biggest power spikes. Level 6, obviously, because you get your ultimate. Level 9, because you get the permanent W. Level 11, and level 13. Whenever I'm playing with my friends, if I'm doing bad, I say, don't worry guys, I'm almost level 13, they can't fight me after that. And what a lot of people don't realize is it's because of his passive. Your passive, which is the shotguns, everyone loves the shotguns, those do an immense amount of damage. Without the shotguns, Urgot has almost no damage, which is why his early game is so weak compared to Renekton, Darius, those stat check champions that can just run you down. But once you hit 6, the cooldown drops from, I believe, 30 to 20 seconds per shotgun. Then when you hit 9, it drops to 10. When you hit 11, it drops from 10 to 5 seconds each. And then when you hit 13, it drops down to 2.5 seconds each. Not only that, but as you hit higher levels and they get on shorter cooldowns, they also do a higher percentage of max health damage. So not only are they up faster, but they do more damage. That's just more damage you get from leveling up. Not even building items. It doesn't matter how much CS you are ahead or behind. You just get straight stats and bonuses from leveling up. So Urgot's never out of a game, especially if you can pull in with your ultimate and get a free kill or maybe a double kill. Renekton, though, which is just kind of why I chose him, he's one of the champions. Yes, it's a bot, but I don't have friends. Leave me alone. He's one of the champions that can just bully you hard. So what I do is I just kind of play safe, give him the respect that a Renekton can have, because if he doesn't kill you and you get ninja tabbies and start building your black cleaver, there's nothing he can really do once you get 6 or 9, somewhere around there. Especially if you play it well. You gotta watch the rage bar, but there's nothing he can really do. He can just E, W, Q, E. Just poke you and aggravate you. But he doesn't really have any all-in potential or kill potential unless he gets ahead. Other than, those early levels, which even the bot knows to pressure me off my wave. So as long as you just late wave, push into tower, get some CS, it's okay if you miss some, just as long as you're getting the experience. Because like I said, it's that experience that matters the most. Now, of course, I'm playing a playstyle that I'm sure some, or maybe many Urgot players don't like or don't do. And I'm fine with that. I play a very passive playstyle. I personally max Q first, and then I max E second, maxing Q last. That is, in my opinion, the better way, because the Q costs a lot of mana in lane, so maxing it first, I mean, you wouldn't max anything other than W first, unless you're going like the Comet build or something. The E levels give you obviously cooldown, and I believe a bigger shield. So it's very beneficial to level that, whereas the Q increases the damage and slow. Which the base slow, to me, is generally enough to land it, because all I use my Q for is set up for the E. Just Q, walk up, and then E. Then, you know, rotate for the shotguns. See, now he can't fight me. Again, yes, it's a bot, but, oh, yeah, it's a bot. But use your shotguns to poke them with extra damage. But see, if it was a good player, or actually an actual player, they could have their jungler come, and now all my shotguns are on cooldown. I have no damage. I'm very vulnerable to dying now, until those shotguns are back up off cooldown. So something else you can do is try and make sure that you only shoot the minions from one way. Because if you see right now, all of my shotguns are up, other than one. And that's the one I'm using to hit all of my minions with, to make sure I have 5 shotguns up at all times. It makes your pathing pretty predictable, but it's worth it for you, at least in my opinion, to make sure that, because otherwise you have no shotguns and you have no damage. Because if you watch, once he leaves his tower, maybe I can just do this. Okay, I just want to show you something. One auto with a shotgun does 91 damage. One normal auto does 58. So, obviously, you're doing twice your damage with the shotguns, and those are only level 5 shotguns. With no items. Alright, actually. Against the Renekton, I just rush the Ninja Tabby. And now his damage is nearly inconsequential. But I'm also double his farm. It's hard to show an example against a bot, but I'm just trying to get the basics in. So that's really about all I got. You know, obviously your ultimate is a massive team fight tool if you can pick someone with it, or especially grab the AD carry or whoever's fed. That's, you either want to target the one that's fed, or either the weakest one, or someone who's the most accessible. And then from there, you use the fear to get to the fed one. Your target always wants to be the fed one, but you don't want to tunnel too hard on the fed one and, you know, int. And something that Nikram showed off once you hit 9 is that the fact that you can, and many people have talked about this, is the fact that you can turn your W on, get a couple autos, turn it off. Turn on, get a couple autos, turn it off. On, auto, off. And you pop the fear. And you, it's been a while since I played against a good Renekton, but if you get first blood on him, there's not a lot they can do. But this is also specific to Renekton. There's many matchups that you win early. And there's many matchups, like Nasus, a Nasus can't do anything. Every time he goes up for farm, you flip him. That's it. You always engage him. He can't fight you. There's nothing he can do. He'll have no stacks, he's screwed. I don't know, maybe I should make like a text part of all the matchups that I know. But, I mean, my build is I used to build Rage to Glory a lot. I haven't built it as much anymore. Not really sure why I stopped building it. But my normal build has been Cleaver into Death Dance, sometimes grabbing GA if I can depend on my team to be there when I actually revive. Thornmail and Randuin's are huge against, you know, Tryndamere, Jhin, Yasuo, most AD carries that go crit. Spirit Visage, I enjoy the passive of it, but I don't find myself going it much anymore. Especially, at least my friends haven't been going many healing supports. And if you don't have an outside source of healing, I feel like Maw is better. That's just me, though. I'm not really sure. I love Spirit Visage, but for whatever reason, I always find some reason or excuse not to build it. Either I go adaptive because I have a Teemo or a Cass or something. Which, by the way, if you're against a Teemo, get Second Wind, get Dorn Shield, and then get this thing first item, and there's nothing he can do. The damage he deals basically heals you. Other than that, I'm not sure. Stoneplate I enjoy. I like you shooting someone with the ultimate, and then as you're pulling them in, you proc Stoneplate, because you know the downside to Stoneplate is that it decreases the damage you do. But that doesn't matter if you're not dealing damage anyway, which while you're pulling people in, you don't do damage, as we probably all know. So you're getting free health and tank stats to let you survive your ultimate, because one of the most frustrating things is pulling someone in that's about to finish, and then you get killed by, someone on their team. And then you don't get the fear, the person you were killing lived, and you're annoyed. So getting that could be a very beneficial item. Frozen Heart with the buffs it's got is pretty good again if you're against a team that has a lot of attack speed. Like Vayne Top is annoying as shit. And the nice thing is that the Frozen Heart aura does not stack. It does stack with either Thornmail or Randuin's. They don't stack with each other because it's the same passive, Cold Steel. But Frozen Heart's aura is something else. So if you have Frozen Heart and you have Thornmail next to, like, say, a Kale, and Kale starts attacking you, their attack speed is decreased by 30%. That's a big chunk just for you existing. So I think that's all I'm gonna put for now. If there's specific things you guys want me to cover or something, I don't know. This is just kind of a spur of the moment thing. One last thing I can show you is the E flash. You press E, you flash, it goes off, Renekton flash away because you're a little wimp. Well, I was hoping to kill him there, but oh well. I hope this was enjoyable or informative or something. I'm killing this bastard. Boom. Alright. I hope you enjoyed.